Are you ready?
I am ready.
Exciting?
Excited? Did you have to face your Dr. Pepper out to try and get the logo on camera?
Well, I gotta, you know what? Sponsorship.
They're not going to, you got to let it go. We're not getting a call from Dr. Pepper. You've been trying
but
for
I'm
too
under
long.
strict orders by this doctor to take in every cc of this delightful caffeinated goodness to get rolling every morning.
But this doctor does not want to pay you to do so. There you go. Put it sideways.
Welcome back to Talking Story. Hey, my name is John Minton. That right there is my literary wingman. That right there is the best producer on BookTube. Says so on, look, if you hit a truck stop anywhere in the continental United States or a public restroom anywhere across the globe, it will say this on a bathroom wall. Best producer on BookTube.
If it says it in any bathrooms, I hope they're not public. My name is Jakob.
Well, what would be the point of that?
To keep it private. Try not
I think
to get, like a
look, I think you need to
charge
reassess, my friend.
No.
I think you need to reassess.
I disagree.
Well, you're going to grow up someday and realize how many times you were wrong when your father was telling you something.
Have I not grown up? Does 24
Oh
not
my
count?
goodness. You're in the larval stage still.
I still have a long way to go. Is that
You
true?
you've got a marathon to go, my friend.
Oh,
a marathon to go, because you know what you've got? You've got a life to live. You've got a story, and you've barely started. And that brings me to you. Thanks so much for joining us.
What a segue.
We're about to, what was that?
What a
was that?
segue. Well done.
What a segue.
Yeah.
Thanks for you to take time in your personal life and story to join us. Because you know what? Maybe we all had a week. Sometimes we have weeks. There's some weeks to be had. But let me tell you, remember this. We love story here, and there is a story that you are living, you are the center of, and it is the only one of its kind in the history of time. Appreciate it. Enjoy it. Don't forget that. Keep that in your mind as we're about to launch ourselves into the week here on Talking Story by slowing down just a little bit, talk about everything we read, everything we took in story-wise this past week, hang out and have a little bit of fun. What'd you think of that?
Well, we got the ASMR, the can getting popped open. That's how you know it started. We're beginning.
That's how you know I'm under strict doctor's orders.
Oh, no. This is not a medication that's good for you.
Oh, that's going to get me on the roll. Hey, what? I think you've got a good answer this week. I think you've got a good answer this week of what you got read. I think there's actually some movement. You're going to let us all down.
I'm going to let you down. Well, It's not nothing.
Well, hey,
But
nothing is good.
Well, it's not a good answer either. But it turned out to be a bit of a busy week again. A lot of the work I did, just can't do an audiobook while I'm doing that kind of work. But one day while I was grocery shopping, I did get to knock out a singular chapter of Curse of the Mysteries.
But you're in that second half now.
I'm in that second half. As you said last week, I was riding up the hill, and I'm just about looking over the edge. That's where I'm at right now.
You're at that sign at the top of the hill when they click. You get that sign up there, and it's like that sign that says, "Too late now. You strapped into this ride."
Yeah, that's exactly how it feels. Mm-hmm. I'm loving every second of it. I just carving out the time's a little hard right now, but
yeah,
man, I'm enjoying
I get that.
I've said it a bunch. Everyone else on the involved with the read along has said it a bunch. If you have not checked out Janie Wertz's books, please do. She has standalones. She has Curse of the Mysteries. That's the start of her big fantasy series. Start somewhere, start.
That is what you're reading now.
That is what I am reading now. I said that earlier.
Yeah.
I think. I hope so.
Oh, did you? Okay. I don't know if you did or not.
But that's what I did. What did you do?
I did a little bit more. But you know what? Before we get into that.
Oh, okay.
I don't think anyone wants to wait any longer because look, it is the last weekly reader of the month. It is the weekly reader where we announce what is our Patreon read, our book club read for the month of March coming up quickly. And look, there was voting happening all week long, and we had to bring in our august Mr. Pooh to make sure the returns were done correctly.
He's not august, and he did nothing.
He did very much. Check it out for yourselves. See what won. Exciting times we live in. It is election results time with the august Mr. Pooh, he is going to look over all the returns. He's going to make sure they're certified. He's going to make sure, to his sense and level of fairness, that everything was above board for this vote for the Patreon read for the book club for the month of March 2025.
He's just not paying attention.
Hey, look at this.
No, look at that. He looks
He's
away.
look.
He doesn't even know where he is right now.
He knows exactly where he is. He knows exactly. He's been waiting for this all day. Let's start at the bottom. Now, coming in with 3% of the vote was Asunder.
Oh, wow. Only 3%? Okay.
By Kirsten Hall. 3% of the vote, Mr. Pooh.
I was kind of excited about that one, I'm not going to lie.
I was too. We're going to get to this one, no doubt, because the amazing Esme says it is amazing. Now, coming in at 15%, 15% of the vote is Lightfall by Ed Crocker. What you think of that one, Mr. Pooh? Yeah. 15%. 15%. No, what's next? Coming in at 20% of the vote, Never Say Die by Rob J. Hayes.
He's doing everything he can to not do his job.
Look at this. He is on top of everything that's going on.
No.
On top. Okay, look, this is second place with 27% of the vote. Sea of Rust by C. Robert Cargill. And now he's hiding behind C. Robert Cargill.
He's ashamed of this one. He wanted it to win.
So for those of you keeping score at home, the winner is The Children of Gods and Fighting Men by Shauna Lawless with 34% of the vote. This is going to be the book club for the month of March. I'm very excited. A little bit of historical fantasy, a little bit of Celtic myths and everything going on. I love it. Look how excited Mr. Pooh is.
He could not care less about anything.
Look how excited Mr. Pooh is by this pick.
He would like to be in any other location in the world right now.
All right, there we go. We got a winner. All right, man. I'm excited.
Were you pulling for this one, or
look? I put the group together. I couldn't lose. I was. There was no way. Usually with these things, I rarely could ever lose with the Patreon read. But I've been wanting to get into this for a while. I love, come on, Celtic myth and history and Ireland, historical fantasy in Ireland and.
That is nearly exclusively...
Tuatha De Danann and the Fomorians. Like, this is my bag, baby.
That
One
is
of the first
jam.
things I ever wrote was a story about this stuff.
Yeah. This is right up your alley. I'm sure you'll love it.
Cannot wait. Hear amazing things about Shauna Lawless and her trilogy with some novellas thrown in between, short stories thrown in between, I believe. The Children of Gods and Fighting Men by Shauna Lawless. Can't wait to get into that for the book club.
And you get to experience it with everybody.
Oh, it's going to be so cool. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I'm excited. I may just pop in for a few minutes just to see how it goes, even though I didn't read the book. I'm just curious.
Well, yeah, you have to.
What do you mean?
Well, it'll be too much fun not to pop in.
Well, that is true. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, look, I'm excited. We're all excited. That's the pick. Be there or be square. So, what did I read this week?
Several hundred pages, I would imagine.
That is the question.
Well,
that is the question.
I got it. Did you wrap up what I'm thinking of?
I wrapped up Gardens of the Moon by Steven Erikson.
So excited you had to throw it on the table.
So excited I had to throw it around. Look, I was extremely excited about this when I started.
Yes.
And ran into a few problems for me by the end of this.
Okay.
But still enormously excited for the series. Like, there is so much. Oh my gosh. The creativity and the world building and the depth of space and time that this happens in is just off the charts. Where I was last week is we had just had the falling of the city of Pale, this amazing wizard throwdown between this floating city and the troops on the ground over the city of Pale. And if that doesn't sound like epic enough, right? Like that is just like off the charts. You can just cinematic off the charts. You can just see all of this action getting thrown around, right? It actually gets even more bonkers off the chart from there. This thing has so many epic moments, huge set pieces, tipping over into the nightmare fuel situation. It is so creative. I was talking to somebody in comments, and it's like it didn't quite work for them as much as A Song of Ice and Fire did, because A Song of Ice and Fire is the absolute opposite end of the spectrum. You get the machinations of court intrigue. You get characters that you, sink into and know and love. And then some of the fantastical elements start to come in after you're so immersed in this world and sold on the story. This does not do that. This throws you off the deep end of a fantastical world where the most off-the-chart bonker stuff is going to happen like right away. You're in the deep end of the pool going, okay, wait a minute, that's a lot. That's a lot. I need somebody, okay, my instructor better push me to the ladder. Better push me to the ladder because there's a lot going on. And it doesn't let up. I had a little bit of problems when the further we got in, not with the creativity, but just a little bit of character pace situations as we got further in and as I got closer to the end. And I don't want to get into it too much because I think I'd like to do a full review coming up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But just in case I don't, I'll go ahead and say, because you never know, our schedule gets packed.
Sure.
Let me just say, okay, so the fall of the city of Pale, one empire, an emperor that has been deposed from a coup by who is now the Empress, machinations, wheels within wheels within wheels within planning, not only on this level of rulership and aristocracy, the Empress and the last free city, Darujistan, where these troops move onto, and this small group of bridge burners, like a black ops team that is inserted into Darujistan to help bring about the fall of this as the troops move in. So we've got like this, then we've got the rulers of Darujistan as well as just like a street thief and an alchemist and a spy. And we get these little snippets of POVs into Darujistan, and we get to start to watch all the machinations of what's going on there after the moving on from Pale, after the falling of Pale. So there's a lot going on. Everyone has their own motivations, their own agency, and how they come into direct opposition with each other. On top of that, we have a layer of gods that are now reasserting themselves for one reason or another on one side or another of this conflict. All of it has to do with thousands of years of history and what's happened to them and the guilt and the grudges they're carrying. So there is quite a bit of POVs, quite a bit of motivations to chart and stay on top of. As we get towards the end, I got the feeling as we were jumping from one POV to the other so quickly, it had a bit of a stutter effect for me. We get to the climactic ending of this, what's going to happen in Darujistan, and all of this intrigue. And as we're jumping from one POV, sometimes just from paragraph to paragraph to paragraph, and we jump from, it gave me a bit of a stutter effect in the action because we're jumping so many times to so many different agencies of motivation and POV that it gave me a bit of a stuttering effect, and it had an effect on the pace for me. It was almost as if, and I have heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, Steven Erikson created and adapted this from a tabletop campaign.
Oh, wow.
And it was almost as if I'm jumping, all the characters are looking down at this table and what's going on in this climactic moment, and I'm jumping from head to head as turns are taken all the way around the table. And it didn't quite have that flow of prose through this climactic ending that I would have liked. So it had a little bit of an effect on my pace a little bit towards as it built up in the falling action at the last act. As well, I had a little bit of a problem with character. Not that I couldn't chart them. They all had agency. They all had different motivations. They all wanted something. I could chart all of that. I'm not sure that they were all individual and as singular sometimes as I like. Sometimes you could take lines said by one character and put them in another character's mouth, and they would probably play. Not all of them were like that, but with as many POVs spread across, I didn't see enough of a separation between all these POVs and characters that I would have liked to have seen. Still, in all, these are nitpicky things that I can't wait to see what happens in book 2, 3, 4, and going forward, because this is the launch, book 1. And what this has, again, is creativity off the charts. And I can't wait to see how he moves forward and some of the descriptive passages are absolutely beyond beautiful and inspiring and just so cinematic. They just paint a beautiful picture as if by a master. So he has so many tools in the box that he can rely on and pull out and have something so fresh and new here. These little nitpicks I have, I'm wondering what's going to happen with them as he moves forward as a storyteller using the form of prose. And I can't wait to find that out. Some of these characters, as we stay with them longer, are they going to carve out more of a personality for me where I can attach myself a little bit better? And these emotional moments will hit a little bit harder because I'm really underneath their skin with the character with them, as opposed to at this point, they felt not as deep for me. And again, that stuttering effect because there were so many. And the pace situation, will he start to have more of a flow when we get into the falling action of a third act? I don't know. I'm seriously curious, and I can't wait to see what happens. But I mean, this was a great book. I did have some nitpicks by the end, but an absolute amazing launch to a series, and I can't wait to see where the series go, where these characters go, where this world goes, and where the artist himself goes.
Are those couple nitpicks that you had something that you've heard gets fixed in the second book? Because I've heard the second book is generally easier to get through than the first.
I've heard different things. I've heard the second book is easier to get through. I have heard that. And then I've heard the second book is like a whole other continent in this world with a whole different group of characters. So it's kind of a curveball, and kind of what the answers you want from this, you're going to have to wait a little bit. The second book doesn't necessarily give you that. So I'm going in with all that in mind, but still, I want to chart this artist journey. I have never read a fantasy like this. This is somebody that so entirely embraces the idea of the fantastical. I mean, no spoilers for someone that hasn't, but it's like, let's just throw one thing out there that happens. I mean, how about a possessed marionette puppet walking around that is being so fueled into magic that he's slowly going sadistical and psychopathic and insane? Like, that's just one bonkers thing, is you've got this puppet involved.
That's awesome.
Like, dude, there are so many things that happen in this that it's like, okay, haven't seen that. Like, you went there, buddy. You went for it. Like, he is not afraid to embrace the bonkers fantastical. It's like, if we're going to use fantasy and we're going to springboard off of this, let's go all the way. And oh man, he swings for the fences, and I love it so much. Like, it really absolutely is fun and works for me. But like I say, just very, very slight little nitpicks by the third act.
Well, month off for you, and then on to book 2, right?
We'll see. I don't know. I'm not guaranteeing every other month, but I will say for sure book 2 before too long, before the end of the year.
Okay, understood.
I will. There's no way I'm going to be able to wait. Like, I have to get back to this world. Every place you visit in this world has depth and story. And then you put the people on top of it, and each one of them has history and story. And as it unravels, like these people come together, you're finding like, oh, they have history. This is going to be crazy too. And then on top of that, you layer in these ascendants or these gods that are popping back up and picking one team or another and moving pieces, whether they know it or not. And they have history and story. It's layered to that effect as it's going on. And then those intrigues become intertwined as one's trying to get up on another. it earns everybody calling it layered and complex, without a doubt. But it also earns so new and fresh and bonkers and fun. I'm telling you, it's special. It's absolutely special. I just can't wait to see, as he is an artist moving forward, these little nitpicks I have, if they go away or not.
Interesting. Okay.
And after that, what better way to clear a palate
Oh boy.
than grabbing One Piece Volume 9? Now, this is the one. This is the one that the people with me, leading me through One Piece, have said, well, okay, wait for it. Because this has just been just fun. Like, this is a roller coaster ride. This is that. I've been in the park all day. I am sweaty. I am hot. Put me on Splash Mountain. That's what I need. This is Splash Mountain, right? And it's each volume has just been that way for me. So much fun. It's got some deep themes layered in, but I hadn't got that emotional oomph from it that I hear that is going to come. And everyone was saying, that is in my group with me, ooh, wait for Volume 9. Wait for Volume 9. That's where it hits. That's where it hits. I've had people tell me I cry every time, right?
And?
I did not shed a tear.
Oh, okay.
I was a bit like you, the stone-faced boy. I did not shed a tear, but what I did do this. I had the ugly breath.
Can we get an example, please?
You know what? There's a moment, and it's at the very end. It's towards the very end of this. I had that, I had that ugly breath. I had that palpitation, and just for a second, it did hit me. Absolutely, it did hit me. I can see we've been with this crew long enough. We've journeyed far enough. There's a special connection, and when that connection is used in just the right way, or added to in just the right way, or built on in just the right way, whether you realize it or not, whether you're ready for it or not, it's got there. It's absolutely got there.
Wow. But no tears.
And no tears, but the ugly breath. I did have the ugly breath.
Fair enough.
A welling up, if you will.
Yeah, you felt something, for sure.
Yeah, I absolutely did. And I can't wait to talk to the whole group about it, that we will be getting together in the month of March.
Very exciting.
The crew will assemble. And I've also heard, like, the story doesn't end, like, the emotional moment hits here, but the story goes on. I think the story goes on through volumes 10 and 11, and I have already pulled those aside. That's going to happen early in March, because I got to see the end. Like, there's no way that's not happening fairly early.
Before the discussion, you're doing those, right?
I'm not going to guarantee that, but probably, because I don't think I'm going to be able to wait. But we did talk, we discussed through this, so I don't want to change everybody's plans. But just for me personally, I don't know if I'll be able to wait.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then, like, look, after that, I went to an old favorite, Jonathan Mayberry. I picked up Glimpse last night. I'm only about 30, 40 pages in. And look, this guy, if there's anybody that you can just rely on, okay, I've dealt with complexity and so many POVs. I need something. I just need a different flavor, a little bit of a different taste. It is going to be so plot focused. It is going to be pedal to the metal adrenaline pace. It is going to be unrelenting. It is going to be a little bit of the supernatural weaved and wefted through there that makes you just go, oh gosh, what is coming next? And it will just it'll just go non-stop. He knows all the tricks. He has all the tools in his box, and he uses them to such high effect to keep you turning pages. I'm going to give you an example. This is just, sometimes his chapters are crazy short just to suck you in. Here's the entirety of chapter 1 of Glimpse by Jonathan Mayberry. It's like that sometimes. It starts weird and in the wrong place. This did. Rain Thomas went to bed on Thursday and woke up on Saturday. She had no idea at all that someone had stolen a whole day from her until she arrived 23 hours and 48 minutes late for a job interview. The interview did not go well.
That's the whole
That's
chapter?
that's the entirety of chapter 1. Like, who's going to just like, I'll try a chapter and then see what I think. Who's stopping there?
That was like maybe a paragraph.
I'm telling you, he knows all the tricks. It's like, well, that's just a paragraph. I can't stop there. And then the next chapter unfolds a little more and unfolds a little more. And there's just the right level of freaky, terrifying character depth, somebody you want to root for, and then an inciting incident that just makes you start to crumble. You just can't stop. Like, he's got, I'm telling you, all the tricks, man. All the tricks. I'll be done with this probably by Tuesday or so.
I was going to say, I see a bookmark in it. So how far are you?
I'm only like 30, 40 pages in, but I'll be done probably by Tuesday. It's not crazy long, and his stuff just flies. And then what I'm going to pick up for the end, if I've got 3 or so more days here in the month, this year for me is all about hopefully catching up on some series, finishing out some series, moving forward in some series that we've started here on the channel. For one reason or another, one of my all-time favorite series is The Dark Tower, and I have never read The Wind Through the Keyhole, which is the little novella, short novel that drops right at the end of this. Or some people say it drops between the penultimate book before the last book. I've heard different things, but I've read all of those, so I'm just going to drop this in at the end. I think I've had it lying around for so long because I kind of just didn't want it to be over in some way. But look, this is the year about getting further down the road in some series and wrapping things up. So if I have a few days left of the month, I will be doing The Wind Through the Keyhole by Stephen King, and that will put the capper onto The Dark Tower.
I love that cover art. That's gorgeous.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, that's gorgeous. I love that. Ooh,
Yeah.
in the back as well.
It's a wraparound. Beautiful. Just a quick break in the action to thank all of our correspondents, directors, and producers on Patreon. These people keep the lights on. They make decisions for us because we don't know what we're doing. We're not great at making the decisions around here. The decisions all the way from what I'm going to read next, what the book club of the month Patreon pick is going to be, but all the way up to video ideas and what we're going to do here on the channel coming up for you. If you're interested or you want to find out how you can be a part of this, right down there in the description box, click the Patreon link. It's got all the answers for you. And once again, thank you to all of these fine people that are helping us build the channel, our correspondents, directors, and producers. So that is it, man. That's it for me. That's it for me. You're just going to keep chugging on.
I'm a little
Cursed
scared.
Mist-Wraith.
Yeah,
Let me tell you,
I hope to have it done before the end of the month, but we're getting closer and closer to the end here.
You're getting closer and closer. Maybe this week will be not as hard.
I hope so. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. So, do you remember what happened last week on the channel? As we want to recap our big week, all the fun we had.
Oddly enough, I remember all of the things that I was not involved in. You know what?
I can't wait to hear this.
I remember everything. It just
Hit
came to
me.
me. First, you did a March
This is going to be a
TBR.
first. We did do March TBR, and now it is complete because we know what the Patreon read is. Yes.
All full circle.
And then?
And just based on me. Nope. You had a Talking to the Tubers with Brian Bell.
The best. The brother from the north. Hung out with us.
Let me ask, how quickly did it go off the rails, full-blown chaos?
You know what? We did pretty good. We
Really?
did pretty good. We talked about BookTube and books, and you know, it's one of those things where I'm just going to hang out with my brother. I didn't really prepare a lot, and it's like an hour and a half it felt like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
People in the chat were amazing. It was just a fun time. It was absolutely amazing. Check it out if you haven't yet, and check out his channel, BellTube, if you haven't. Just a great, amazing channel.
The guy works harder than any one of us.
Hardest
he
working
deserves
dude
all
in
the
BookTube.
love.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
we went on somebody else's channel.
we did.
You, me, and the Ma went on Beard of Darkness and had a wonderful time talking about Discovery. I had so much
We
fun.
talked for like 2 hours.
I thought it was going to be hour and a half tops.
Yeah.
Same thing like you said with Brian, 2 hours over immediately.
And it was amazing. We talked about where our idea came from, how we worked, what it was like working as a family, like all that stuff. And look, the beard, man. Can we put a link for that? People
Absolutely.
that haven't seen it, like, he is what an amazing interviewer. Made us so comfortable, and it was just so much fun. We had a great time.
He's the best. And for those that are a little nervous to check it out, it is of course entirely spoiler free. Discovery comes out in May.
Like, we talk about some stuff and you will think, oh no, spoilers, but it's like, we really keep that. It's like, that's like page 1.
There is a lot that happens in this book. The only things plot wise that we talk about are things that happen on page 1. And, anything beyond that, we talk about like kind of, like what themes we have that pertain to the book. That's about as close as we get to talking about anything that happens beyond page 1.
We keep it pretty vague. Don't
be afraid of spoilers. Go check it out. He was a great interview.
Yeah.
Such a fun time.
So much fun. So this week.
No idea.
we just had the production meeting.
I don't. There weren't Danishes, so it just.
No. This time unbelievably we brought in finger sandwiches and Fresca.
There were no such thing.
There was a cooler full of Fresca, and there was finger sandwiches. I believe it was tuna. I'm not 100% sure.
That's disgusting, and I know you're more of a bubbly guy.
Well, you know what? I love a nice Fresca. So refreshing. Listen, this is what we're going to do this week.
Okay.
Of course, we got Weekly Reader here, where we all slow down and check in with each other. And then, coming up on, what's our day? Wednesday? Coming up on Wednesday.
That is correct.
Look, I wanted to sit with this for a while. I didn't want to do this too quickly.
Okay.
I wanted to sit with this for a while, and then I kind of wanted to, and then I felt ready to talk about it, and then I thought, no, I want to sit with it in context as a complete arc. At first, I wanted to sit with Wind and Truth. I wanted to let it ruminate through me. Then I felt ready to talk about it. Then it was like, no, I want the entire arc, the first arc of the Stormlight Archive. How does this fit together? How does this work for me? So I'm ready to kind of talk about that on Wednesday. We're going to go through the Stormlight Archives. I'm going to rank from least favorite to favorite of the 5 books. I'm going to say kind of how they hit me, how they worked for me, and we're going to totally go over and rank Arc 1 of Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight Archive and break it down.
Feeling, no spoilers, but I have a feeling there are going to be a lot of people disagreeing with you.
Probably. I would say you're probably for sure.
Because you didn't hate Wind and Truth, and a lot of other people
I didn't hate
did.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
Wasn't my favorite, but I didn't hate it.
Sure.
We'll leave it there.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to, like, in my mind, like, put it all together as a thing. I'm going to talk about that on Wednesday, how it hit me.
That'll be fun.
And then Friday, this is exciting. This is a big step for you as a tuber, as a booktuber.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about this one.
We're doing this, man, on Friday. You want it? Just take it. This is yours.
Well, I'm thinking I might make this a bit more of a interactive video, because I don't have a solid TBR for the year, but I have goals. I have plans of like things that I'd like to be caught up on by the end of the year. So Friday, we will do a video where maybe you help me, or at least give me,
I'll do my best,
some advice. I'll come in with a TBR of the things I want to do for the rest of the year, my plans, and you can give me some guidance on, realistically, I don't think you're going to read that, Jacob, or things to that effect.
So you're going to bring in with, like, I want to get caught up on this. I want to try this series. I want to try this author. I want to try. These are the things that are important to me this year to get to.
And there are some things that are like, I'm locked in for certain months, but in addition to that, I want to be caught up on Sun Eater by the time Shadows Upon Time comes out. Like, that's one.
Well, don't give too much away here.
I'm not giving everything away. That's just one example. And I've said it before.
Okay.
I want to be there on day 1 for Shadows of Time. That's one example.
All right. But then you have others that you're just itching. You've got a list.
I have other things.
Wish list.
Yeah. I got a full
This
wish
is like
list.
you as a little kid and the Christmas catalog got delivered and you're circling.
Yeah. A lot of which I don't think we've really talked about. So this could be a little interesting.
This is the first time you've had a list like this.
Yeah, it is. I am sure it will get 100 views in 9 days. Like it.
My last list, or one of my last lists, I think Heidi pointed out, it's like, I think it was this, when we were voting on this, she said, this was a priority for you to get to in 2023, I think, or something like that.
Was that true?
Yeah, 2024 or 2020. It's like, so you know what? We can all dream and wish and want to try so many things at the candy store. What we have to do at the end of the day is enjoy.
I wasn't going to say anything earlier, but you did a video a while ago that was talking about like my plans for 2025. And it was like every other month I'm doing Wars of Light and Shadow and I'm doing Malazan. And then I asked you, are you taking a month off and going back to Malazan? You're like, I don't know.
I'm going to do, and
I think there were comments on that video that you did that people were doing, like, you're doing Wars of Light and Shadow and Malazan in the same year. Good luck, dude.
Look, this is what I'm going to try and do for you. I'm going to say, good luck, dude. Like, I
need that. I appreciate that.
It'll be like Insta commenters.
That's what I need. I'm ready.
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, perfect.
All right. That's coming up Friday. And then we'll be into March.
Oh, wow, we will.
We will be into March. The next time we get together for Weekly Reader, we will be in the month of March 2025. Unbelievable.
A lot of really fun things happening in March. I'm excited.
March should be a cool month.
March will be a very
lot of
cool
exciting
month.
things.
Yeah.
A lot of things we can't talk about, but a lot of exciting things to hit in March. Hey, all that's left is to talk about if you got anything watched this week. Did you take any story in on the tube or a movie or anything like that?
Yes and no.
That's weird.
Like I said, it was a busy week. There's a new episode of Severance, and I was busy that night. So it came out to about like 12:30 a.m. that I was like, I'm going to watch this new episode. And I got 20 minutes in and passed out. So I am not
So you haven't seen it all?
I have not seen it all.
I'm not caught up either. I haven't even started.
Okay, perfect.
I have not started this week's episode.
I feel less bad then.
Well, before I jump in here, was that it for you? Was there anything else?
That was it for me. Yeah.
Okay. So look, I haven't caught up on Severance.
No, it wasn't. Amanda and I watched When Harry Met Sally for the first time.
You'd never seen that?
No. What a movie, dude. That's like maybe my favorite romance movie of all time. That was awesome.
That is a great romantic comedy. That might be one of the top romantic comedies of all time.
I think that's my number one. That was a fantastic movie. And I'm normally not a romance guy. That was brilliant.
No, but that one just works, right?
Yeah.
Like that one just makes you feel good all the way down to your toes.
That's just a solid movie. Like
I have
genre
decided
undefined.
for the day that we're going to talk like this.
Yeah.
Please to repeat after me.
I'm sure I'm the last person on earth to see this movie, but if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's
watch it again.
Yeah, watch it again.
That's one you can watch a million times.
But that
unbelievable, beautiful, wonderful, funny flick.
It was great. That was something we watched.
Yeah. What an awesome movie for you guys to watch together.
I know.
I'm sure Amanda loved it too.
It was like, February, around this time, the middle of February is like our anniversary. It kind of coincides with Valentine's Day. So it was just something we did, the two of us. It was a really nice time.
That was an amazing choice.
Thank you. I made it myself.
Choice. So look, I could have watched this week's Severance. I did some watching this week. I absolutely got some stuff watched.
And you didn't do Severance.
I didn't because I realized the final episodes of Cobra Kai was out. So I had to watch all of those.
Oh, I see.
Oh my gosh. So amazing. So amazing. I mean, a full-blown shot of nostalgia right to the chest. Loved every second of it. So much fun. And look, William Zabka had some moments. Like there were some emotional moments like, dude, you got that gear. I didn't know you could slip down into that gear as a performer. Great job. Wow. Just overall, loved every bit of it.
Really?
Yes.
I would not expect that from him. That's cool.
No. Absolutely had a great time with that. Watched the first episode of season 3 of Reacher, because, that's just testosterone fun goodness. I am caught up on Mythic Quest, and you telling me last week to check out on those secret level to watch Warhammer 40K.
Did you
I
watch
watched
it?
that.
Oh,
I watched that.
so
and it
good.
made me want to read. How many books are there? 700? I don't know. It made me want to read 700 books. Like, who the frick is Titus? I want that story. Somebody, where can I get the story of Titus? I want that story.
A quick shout out to Dio, one of the mods in our Discord. That like when the last Weekly Reader came out, we were talking about this episode of Warhammer on a secret level. He was posting like, here's how you get started in Warhammer with these YouTube videos. I've been watching those all week, man. Like it.
Yeah.
This universe is incredible. There's so much happening.
I had so much fun with that episode. It was amazing, visually astounding, like jaw-dropping. And then I had someone else hit me in comments to say, you know what's also really good is the Pac-Man episode. Watch the Pac-Man episode. So I went back and watched the Pac-Man episode, and I'm going to tell you right now, find 20 minutes to watch that Pac-Man episode. That's the face. That's the face. I did the same thing. What? How are you going to get some kind of story? You waka.
Yeah, what could you possibly do?
Dude, I'm telling you right now, 10 seconds into that episode, you're going to go, what? Okay, I'm in.
Really?
It is awesome. It is awesome. Check it out.
I'll have to do that.
Check it out.
That makes no sense to me, but okay.
No, but it's so good. Yeah. You got to see it.
I didn't have that on my bingo card, but okay.
No, but it's color in that square. It's that good. You got to get to it.
Well, in other news of things that you've been watching, I'm sure you've been watching the Spurs, and I heard that Wembanyama is out for the season.
I have not been watching the Spurs. I haven't checked in after the All-Star break, but Wemby, look, it's been a very sad week for my Spurs. Wemby's got some deep vein thrombosis in his shoulder. They're worried about the clots moving around. They've set him out for the entire season, for the rest of the season.
Yeah. And
I was reading this morning, Pop, it will not be back at all the season after his stroke.
Really?
Yeah. So, and they may announce, I'm feeling they may announce in the offseason that the great Greg Popovich may be moving into retirement. So I don't know, but I just have that feeling. It's been a sad week for my Spurs.
Yeah. Legendary Greg Popovich.
Legendary Greg Pop. But we shall see. We shall see what happens. This gives some of our other, younger players a chance to see. It gives De'Aaron Fox a chance to really work his way in, how he fits with some younger players. It gives us them a chance to assess some talent. I will be watching tonight. I think who do they play tonight? I'm not sure. But there's a game tonight. Like, I'll still be catching a lot of these youngsters and see how they grow and see what they do. And we'll see what happens next year. That's what being a fan is all about.
Is indeed. And I know you'll continue to do it for many decades to come.
Let me tell you, until they hit me with the dirt, until they throw dirt over me, I'm going to be a Spurs fan.
Well, that's just the way that is. Morbid with it. You can just enjoy the Spurs version.
That's just the way I feel. So I think that's it for us, isn't it?
I believe it is, yeah.
How about you? What did you get up to? I hope your week was filled with fun, friends, family, 5-star reads. I hope you had a great week. If you had a little bit of bump in the road, I hope you enjoyed this time where we all could just slow down, hang out, enjoy some stories that we took in through the past week. Hit us up in comments. Let us know. What did you get up to? What did you read? How did it hit you? We are here for the comments. That's the whole reason why we started this channel. We're going to answer every comment that comes in. We're going to answer it as quickly as we possibly can. And hey, while you're down there, have that little thumbs up button. Hit that little thumbs up button too. I know you might not even think about it, but it does help us go out further in this tube of you and reach new friends and new people to talk about story and bring their perspective in. And when we bring new perspectives in about story and how they hit us, we all grow a little bit. That is just the fact of the matter. And if this is your first time, maybe you've been here a time or two and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, let me tell you, it is such an awesome thing when you join a group of people that like you, Enjoy art, enjoy story, enjoy the things that reflect our lives back to us and help us understand our lives just a little bit more. And not only ours, but those lives that are encircling us and around us and sharing this planet and this window of time with us. That can be just magical. Enjoy it and join that group. Bring your perspective in and let us grow from it. When you do that, when you hit that button, it's going to give you a little bit of a tingle because you know you just joined a special, special group. So I guess we will see everybody on Wednesday and Friday, and then we'll be right back here next week for another Weekly Reader.
We will indeed, as always.
Well, you know,
until the end of time.
That sounded like a little bit of drudgery, a little bit of monotony. That did not sound excited.
You know how unhappy it makes me to sit here on a Sunday morning with my father. Just the worst way to spend time. That was sarcasm. You know.
I'm going to have to process that.
Yeah. I love Weekly Reader.
I do too. You know what? I'm a little weird. If we do a live or we do something different, like I feel a little off.
It really does feel like, I see you and talk to you every day, obviously. But if we do a live and then come back again the next week, it feels like, oh, I haven't gotten to see you in a while.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah.
It is weird. It is weird. It's a special time. And I enjoy every second of it, son.
I enjoy it too, Dad.
All right. I enjoy it with all of you as well. Don't feel left out. Thanks so much for joining us here on Talking Story.